Hey everybody, it's Mark Yagi. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to Ecuador. You probably know that I'm down here in Ecuador and it's beautiful. At least I'm not sitting through some of those crazy ice storms that the U.S. is experiencing. But anyway, I hope you guys are all doing great. Let's get into some good stuff. This is last week's. Let's see. I guess I better share the screen with you, right? That would be helpful. All right, let's start over here. So this is last week's chart, and you can see there are four green balls there, green lights. And so we are in a green market. Now look at how long this green market's been going. Since about November, I don't know, like 28th. And here we are almost 2 months into that. That's a really long short-term bull market. So it's long in the tooth. That means it could be ripe for, reversion to the mean, but a couple of the indexes are right around the mean. So maybe it's just a melty uppy kind of thing, right? And this is this week's chart. You can see the momentum shifted a little bit 4 days ago, and then it regained all that just like that. So this was the whole tariff deal, and then Greenland happened in here, and everything is just hunky-dory. And so you got four green lights again. Green lights mean things are bullish, right? That means things are moving up. Maybe not your stock. Maybe it is your stock. I don't know. But let's talk about it. So here's the Nasdaq. You can see right around the 50-day moving average. In fact, 4 days ago, it was trading below the 50. You know what I always say, not a lot of good things happen below the 50-day moving average, but it's back up. Now, will it make a shot for this 23,704? Yeah, it looks like that's kind of in play. And if that happens, then we're going to 24,019 if we can maintain this bull market. The S&P 500 is telling a different story. Had a nice little bounce off the 50-day moving average all the way up here, almost at 7,000, where it's kind of consolidating some all-time highs there. Same thing with the Dow. Look at it, it's consolidating these all-time highs just under 50,000. And then the New York Stock Exchange Composite is the most powerful of all of them, and it's right. In fact, it made a new high yesterday, and it's right there at the top. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means that 3 out of the 4 markets are really strong, and the other one's recovering. And so things are going up. Like if you've been a stock like Nvidia or Palantir, even Apple, some of these things have not been great for the last couple of months. Some of them haven't done anything, and some like Apple have really, they've kind of trickled down, right? Which has not been fun. But now I think there's a little bit of strength maybe coming back into the techs, and you'll see the Nasdaq go back up. We'll see. I don't know. I'm just trying to play the probabilities and read the market. This is the volatility index down below the 50-day moving average, which means panic is quiet. And then here we have Tesla. Now, Tesla's right around the 50. And there's not a lot of reason that we have earnings coming up, I guess, in a week and a half or something, but in a week. So, we don't know which way it's going to go. It could report lousy earnings or lousier earnings than everybody thinks, and it goes up or it goes down. We don't know. It all depends on, the conference call that Elon always leads, and whether full self-driving is getting approved somewhere or the robots are getting rolled out or whatever. But, the earnings have not been great over the last couple of years, frankly. And, it's a shift of a company into a new kind of a company, more of a AI robotics thing than a car company, right? Even though the cars are high tech. Interesting chart. I don't think there's a lot of ups or downs going on that one. Nvidia, like I've said, it's really been in a consolidation here for several months, right around the 50-day moving average. Not a lot of exciting reasons to buy Nvidia today. Palantir is in a late stage base, and it's now showing a lot of weakness below the 50-day moving average, although it's having a great day today. Palantir still shows weakness, great company, but the company and the stock chart are two totally different things, as you probably know. Advanced Micro Devices, look at this, like 8 or 9 days in a row of up candles right at the all-time high. That means all these sellers have been wiped out, and now it's buyers coming in on good volume driving this higher. I like AMD at this spot. I don't know if it's the right spot to buy it because there's a couple gaps on the chart, but boy, it sure looks strong with the 94% or 94 relative strength. Alphabet has become the leader in AI, right at the buy point here, or the pivot point we call it. Things are looking good over in Alphabet land, which has been amazing to me because they're I don't search anymore. I use AI, and since they're playing that game, I guess they're positioning themselves pretty well in it. Meta Platforms is not so awesome. This is a lousy looking chart with a big gap down. I suspect it wants to go back up and fill that at some point, but there's too much heavy lead around the ankles here. Just barely broke above the 50. At least it did it on good moving average. They have earnings in a week, so be careful on Meta. They're spending a ton of money on AI, but they're not making a ton of money on AI. Microsoft, I did a video on this one. I thought this was going to be a really strong stock, but you can see, basically there's a lot of weakness here, and I just don't like their AI game. They are now being threatened. I think there's a company run by Elon Musk's XAI very quietly that's rebuilding a lot of the things that Microsoft is doing, and they're doing it for free. So I don't know if that's why it's going down, but boy, that's not a good looking chart. There's a death cross right here where the 50 is now down below the 50-day moving average. So I got out of Microsoft, of course. I got out of it here about a week and a half ago or so when it was up a lot higher. Now it's having a great bounce, which is super. We'd like to see a little bit more volume on that, but the volume's not bad. The gold stuff is the story, right? Everybody wants to talk about gold and silver and platinum, and now it's copper, right? And so you could see this big gap up on gold. Gold has been gapping up like crazy. It's at an all-time high, and this GLD, it's the paper gold, right? And is there a squeeze going on with the paper gold? Well, we think there is, right? There's some banks in Switzerland that happen to be very short and are in serious trouble. UBS, I think, is the bank. And if UBS goes, like, everything kind of goes in Switzerland. So, but they're being short squeezed, and gold is just going up because there's a flight to safety, flight to hard assets. The weird thing is that Bitcoin isn't going up for those of you Bitcoiners out there, but at some point, gold wasn't going up and Bitcoin was. So who knows if there's an oscillation, if maybe people are taking money out of Bitcoin to put it in gold while it's going up. But there's going to be a point, I don't know when it is, when these gaps get filled, and I put them on the chart in red. Van Eck gold miners, you can see there's a gap there and a gap there, and you could see very, very strong with high volume continuing to go up on the miners. Silver is continuing to be a hockey stick. In fact, I think silver hit $101 per troy ounce today on the spot market. So that's really interesting. You're seeing gaps here like crazy. This is very tempting for somebody that likes shorts. It's just I can't jump in just yet. There's no reason to put yourself in that kind of risk. But this reminds me a lot of MicroStrategy up last year when it got over $500 and it looked just like this, and everybody said it's going to the moon. And things don't go to the moon. Trees don't go to the sky. So be careful if you're in this long. Also be careful if you're in it short. Like, you just got to be careful, right? This is a whippy trade. And as soon as there's some fund that starts to dump gold or silver or whatever, you're going to see a big candle down. And I don't want you to have to sit through that. All right, let's leave it there. I hope you have a phenomenal rest of your day. I know that some of you, if you're in the U.S., are freezing your butts off. Hopefully you're safe and comfortable, and your heaters are all working, and you got plenty of food and water. So anyway, good luck with all that, and I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Thanks for joining me on the Market Pulse, and I'll see you next week on the next Market Pulse. Take care. Bye.